In this video, I'll show you how to configure view frames and rule-based detail sections to create efficient sheet templates for shaft groups. To ensure a clear and efficient structure, we recommend creating one view frame for each shaft. This makes it easier to manage the layout and improves performance by reducing the time needed to load sheets. It is also recommended to use rule-based detail sections. These allow areas such as the shaft head and shaft pit to automatically adapt to changes in the project. To fully benefit from these functions, it is helpful to know the basics from the A3 tutorial called Drawing Creation Fundamentals. For more advanced use, experience with B2, titled Dynamic Sheet Templates, will give you even more possibilities. Let's take a look at the view frame configuration options for shaft groups. Please note that all changes always apply only to the active view frame. Under the View Frame tab, in the Component Visibility section, you can select which elevators to display. If you're working with a face-to-face shaft group, you can choose to show only bank 1, only bank 2, or both banks. In the sheet properties, you can also define which shaft should be visible in the current sheet. If you want to display the shaft size using an annotation, for example, width by depth, you can simply remove the shaft index from the annotation. The reference will always point to the currently selected shaft and can be used on any sheet. Let's now talk about shaft group dimension overrides. The Overwrites docking window, found under the View Frame tab, provides a clear overview of all changes within the current view frame. For a basic understanding of overrides, refer to the A3.3 video. Using extended asterisk operations, you can apply changes to multiple elements at once, such as every shaft, each entry, or even a specific one like the second to last. In the following example, we will remove unnecessary dimensions using overrides. First, create a new sheet for a schematic plan view using a scale of 1 to 50. Turn off any unnecessary component and dimension groups. Then, delete all unneeded dimensions, for example, wall thicknesses, by using the view frame overrides. Simply check the box labeled Any Index and confirm. Once all unnecessary dimensions have been removed, your sheet should now appear clean and simplified. Let's continue with annotation overrides for shaft groups. Before we begin, a few preparations are needed. Copy the shafts so that you have 4 shafts in bank 1 and 4 shafts in bank 2. Rename the new shafts. Add separator beams and remove wall openings. And reduce the number of floors. The last step helps improve performance for the purpose of this example. Pause the video to complete this setup. Ready? Great! We will start with annotation overrides in plan views. Add a component-related annotation to the car of any shaft. For example, write Training, Bank 1. In the corresponding override entry, check the box so that the annotation appears only in bank 1. You will see this in the Replace row. If you want this annotation to appear only on the second to last shaft of bank 1, add after the words bank 1 a comma, then write index from end comma -2. Now add a second annotation with the text Training, bank 2. In the override entry, check the box labeled bank 2 only and also check first shaft in bank. This ensures that the annotation will always appear in bank 2 on the first shaft, no matter what changes are made later, as long as the car is visible in this view frame. Moving on to annotation overwrites in vertical views. I will now explain how the elements behave depending on how they are written in the overwrite. Shaft 0 applies the annotation only to the first shaft. Shaft with an asterisk applies the annotation to all shafts. Entries 1 applies to entrances on the front side. Entries with an asterisk apply it to entrances on all sides. E0 applies the annotation to the first floor. E with an asterisk applies it to all floors. Let us use this in a practical example. Create a vertical section view from the front, where bank 2 is not visible. Add an annotation to the shaft door that says, "Attention, this door type is different." In the overwrite, replace the floor index. At the entry E, replace the index with an asterisk, followed by curly brackets containing the word last. This places the annotation only on the top shaft door, even if more floors are added later. To place the annotation on the second shaft and on the third floor from the bottom, change the shaft index manually to 1. Then, inside the existing curly brackets after the letter E, replace the word last with index from start, comma, +3. Sometimes it is important to think about what happens if someone rotates the view frame and both banks become visible. Should the annotation appear only in bank 1 or in both banks? In this case, the annotation should appear only in bank 1, on its first shaft, and on the third floor. With a bit of practice, these tools will become easier to use and will help you save time. Thank you for watching.